Hello everyone, welcome to Viewpoint. Well, today we are going to talk about PC errors, specifically a single PC error that has bugged me for years. As in not 4 years, but for many years, which is 3 years. And even up till now, I have not been able to solve it at all. And that is why, if you guys can see back there, the white PC, that is actually a new PC that I bought just because I couldn't solve the issue that I had with my very first PC. That's how bad that single PC error is. So let me just warn you guys, I'm not really a techie or a tech type of person. Whatever I'm sharing with you guys is based on an amateur's point of view. Get it? Point of view? Viewpoint? Okay, so if I do ever get any specific lingo or specific technical term in the PC world, please do help me out here and write down in the comments so that I can learn it with you as well, because throughout this journey, throughout the 3 years, there's a lot of things that I've learned personally from PC building and PC as a whole, but still I'm still an amateur even after 3 years. So okay guys, so let me just start off with how I got the PC in the first place. Back then, I think it was in 2017, it was 3 years ago, I bought a package, a full package that was available in a tech mecca, which is called Sim Square in Singapore. And in that package, it included every single part that you will ever need to build your own PC. And that includes your CPU, your GPU, which is your graphics card, your motherboard, your RAM, your power supply, your storage, where you keep all your data and your Windows software, and also your PC case, where you're gonna keep all this, technical equipment inside. So what we got back then in 2017 was a 2nd gen Ryzen CPU, specifically the Ryzen 5 2400G. It's a 4-core 4-thread CPU, which is or was suitable for 1080p gaming at low resolution. I wasn't looking into like high-end gaming back then. This was sufficient enough because I was on a budget. The total amount that I spent was around, I think, 1,003, and includes all the 7 parts that I mentioned before. So this is the CPU. This is Asus Prime B350 Plus. A good motherboard, to be honest, but it doesn't have Wi-Fi capability, which, let's just say, luckily we do have a Wi-Fi router and I do have a network cable, so I attach a network cable directly to the motherboard. I still can surf the internet. Yeah, but if you guys need a Wi-Fi, you will need to have or buy a Wi-Fi router and install it together with the motherboard. Otherwise, if you don't want to buy two things, you want to get a motherboard that has a Wi-Fi, then just get a motherboard that has a Wi-Fi. It may cost a bit more, but in terms of aesthetic wise, I think it will look better, much better than an external Wi-Fi adapter. So yeah, the B350 Plus is a first gen AMD Ryzen AM4 socket motherboard, which accompanied with a 2nd gen Ryzen CPU. So you may be wondering, wait, isn't that incompatibility? 1st gen, 2nd gen? No, technically speaking, it's not. Because when we bought the motherboard, when we bought the whole package, the motherboard has been already updated with the recent BIOS back then to support the 2nd gen Ryzen CPU. So that shouldn't be the problem for what we were facing back then. Okay, so along with that, we've also got the graphics card, which they provided, the GTX 1060. This has a 3GB VRAM. Yeah, so that's why with 3GB you can't really do much in terms of the high graphics and resolution wise. So 1080p low res is the best that you can go with this graphics card. We also have the power supply. This specific power supply, I really do not know from which brand it is. I don't really recognize the brand. It's called FSP. It is a 600 watt power supply, which is sufficient enough to power all the components that we have. But the bad thing about it is more aesthetics. It is a non-modular power supply, so it means that you cannot, change your cables to custom colored cables, like to make it look more nicer. This one has the ketchup and mustard cables, the red and yellow, which is really ugly to be honest, and you try to hide it a lot. So yeah, and also last but not least, actually not last, but it's a second last item, which is the RAM. Okay, this is the wrong packaging. But this RAM, I think I could show you guys in detail. This is a Crucial RAM. There's 8 gigabytes of memory, and you can see that the speed, the maximum speed that can go is at 2400 megahertz. It is a DDR4 memory, and the cache latency is 17, CL17. So in this case, the cache latency 17 is not such a good number. From what I know, I mean, I totally don't understand what cache latency is about, to be honest. But from I know from the internet, from Google specifically, the lower the number for the cache latency, the better it is for your PC. And 17 does not seem to be that good. For a budget PC, 8 gigs of RAM do the trick. Nowadays, you would need to have at least 16 gigs of RAM if you want to do gaming and surfing the internet, and also perhaps do a bit of video editing here and there. Yeah, 16 gigabytes of RAM is at least the minimum nowadays. So at 8 gigs back then was okay. It was not so bad. Oh yeah, and comes with the casing right here. And yeah, me and my friend, we built it together because I was just starting out and it was my first PC build. So he helped me to build it together, showed me the ropes and everything. He helped me install. He also helped me install the Windows software that is required, for a PC to function. And all in all, it functions well for a couple of months. But at some point, I might have used it excessively to the point whereby the machine sort of like broke down. Not really broke down, but errors keep on popping up. And these errors is what they call blue screen of death, or BSODs for short. Now, BSODs can be caused by hundreds of different errors. There's really hundreds out there. But one in particular that bugged me, which I'm going to talk about right now, is what they call it as WHEA uncontrollable error, which is it uncontrollable or uncorrectable? Sorry guys, uncorrectable error. WHEA uncorrectable error. And at first when it popped up, I was quite worried. I thought it might be some glitch, so I let it go. But when it keeps on repeating again and again, it happens quite often after that. It just bugs me to the point where I just had to look up and see what I can solve, because it is a PC custom build, a PC that we built myself with different parts. So the point of it is that if any of the parts goes wrong, you can go and buy a new one and replace it, or even upgrade that part in the future. That's why the purpose of buying a custom PC instead of a pre-made PC or an OEM PC that you get from Dell, So I look up on the internet to find out the main cause of the error, and technically speaking, it could be anything. There is no specific cause to that error. Literally anything can cause it, from firmware to hardware. And in terms of hardware, well, let's just say that 4 out of 7 of the PC parts I mentioned before can be the problem. That's literally the majority of the PC. In terms of firmware, I mean, like I said, I'm an amateur. I have no idea on how to do programming like C++, JavaScript, Python. So definitely I couldn't. There are on the internet, if you guys could find any solutions for WHEA uncollectible error. Is that uncollectible? Uncorrectable error. You guys can find like firmware solutions for it. I didn't try that out because I really do not know how to do it, and if I were to ever engage it myself, I have to gamble with $1,000+ worth of equipment, which is my PC. So I didn't want to go to that extent. I could spend a couple of hundreds, but not another full thousand. I mean, but you guys know that in the end I had to spend like a few thousand on a new PC. Well, that's after 3 years later, after a lot of savings I've made. So yeah, so in other words, at that time I just decided to go ahead and find about the hardware problem. And like I said, 4 out of 7 of the parts could be involved. So with regards to hardware, well, you might be thinking, why don't I just return back all the parts to the shop and get replacement or refund? Well, if you just built your PC, you can actually do that. But in my case, the problem, the appearance of the blue screen of death, occurred only a couple of months after I bought the PC, and according to the invoice that I received, it's already been overdue for a direct replacement or refund from the shop. So that was totally out of the question, that option. But I do have another one, which is to return or to send the parts, individual parts, to the respective manufacturers. And yes, I am saying manufacturers as in plural, because each of these parts are built by different companies, and therefore the warranty is given by their individual respective manufacturers. Makes sense. And there are like I said, 4 out of 7 of the parts may be involved in causing the specific error, and that means that I would have to send the parts to 4 different manufacturers. That would take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of money. Well, traveling back and forth here, even in Singapore, takes quite a lot of money. So that was totally out of the option as well. And a pop came up. I decided to, why not just upgrade some of the parts? It may be because the error appeared due to old tech. Well, technically speaking, that assumption was not covered by any research I've made online. It's just an assumption that I was thinking of. Because at the same time, I was thinking of upgrading the RAM. Yes, the RAM. Because the RAM is only 8GB, single channel memory. From what I've learned for the past 3 years, always go for dual channel. So with that thought in mind, well, why not just upgrade the RAM? The RAM is one of the 4 components that could contribute to the problem in the first place. So therefore, I went out and bought myself this, a 2x8GB DDR4 memory from Corsair, which has a maximum speed of 2933 MHz with an cache latency of C16. So yeah, replaced the Crucial from the initial PC, from the PC that I had initially, installed the 2 RAMs. Now, do take note also that this specific 2 sticks of RAM is AMD compatible, so it should very much work with the PC that I had, because it had an AMD CPU. Yes, you may be thinking, wait, does it require only AMD RAM to work with AMD CPU? No. Even if the RAM doesn't say that it is AMD compatible, it should be able to work with an AMD CPU. It's just that I think back then, because AMD was only a 2nd gen AMD Ryzen, so back then there were probably many issues regarding RAM compatibility. So that's why manufacturers like Corsair create RAM specifically for AMD. And that's why also I deduced that the problem I was experiencing with the WHEA uncorrectable error was caused by RAM incompatibility. So getting this should be more compatible, right? Sadly, no, it wasn't. In fact, the PC couldn't even start. That was it. I thought, well, if this RAM couldn't work, what could? What could be the other problem? Now the thing is, I could buy a new CPU, because that's also one of the hardware problems. But then again, in Singapore, most CPUs are bundled together with motherboards. So in that case, if I buy a CPU, I might as well buy a motherboard at the same time, because it's cost savings. But if I buy a motherboard, then what am I gonna do with the old motherboard that may still be working? So buying a CPU and a motherboard is totally out of the question. And so yeah, so the only reason that I could think of back then was RAM. But I didn't give up though. I did not give up. I continued on, even until a year later, where I bought, like I said, I bought the recently 2 new sticks of RAM, and it was from Team Group. So how did I came across that was that I asked for help from a local PC building company. I talked to them about the problem that I had. They also deduced that it could be RAM, so my guess was probably right. And we went ahead with testing out with different sorts of RAM, from different speeds, different cache latencies, and soon we find out that the PC, or my PC specifically, works well with a RAM that has a maximum speed of 2666 MHz, 2666, and also a cache latency of 19. Yes, a slower or higher cache latency and a slightly higher speed, RAM speed, when compared to the initial Crucial RAM. Sorry about that guys, there's a motorbike around here. So yeah, well, it works. So I bought 2 of it, you know, to make it into a dual channel memory. I upgraded finally to 16 gigs from 8 gigs, and it was fine, only for a couple of hours. The next day, when I plug it in, blue screen of death appears again, and even more so frequently. Even until now, that error still appears. The only other solution is to also maybe to solve it using firmware, but then again, like I mentioned before, I'm not a very good programmer. I don't even know what programs I should use to, you know, to instill those new solutions, firmware solutions. So yeah. Now, I could just leave the computer for dust to collect, but then again, that's just wasteful. That's just being wasteful, and I try not to be a wasteful person, guys. So instead, I do plan to give the PC to Sandra to use it for her to learn, you know, editing, to help out with the channel. But then again, the PC is not working. So what should I do? Well, recently, I think it's been already like nearly a year since 3rd Gen Ryzen came out, and the prices nowadays for 3rd Gen Ryzen CPU with a bundle together with a motherboard has gone pretty affordable, and this is what we get. Wow. Okay, this is what came into the mail, I think around 3 days ago. Yeah. So what I bought was 3 items: a new CPU bundled with a new motherboard and a new power supply, because, well, catch-up and master cables need to go. We need new black cables, and nice ones at that. So yeah, so let's open it up and see what we've got inside. Okay, well, so for power supply, we've upgraded a bit from 600 to, just a bit, 650 watts, and plus this is a very reliable brand, Seasonic, and apparently this specific model is alliance with Tough Gaming under ASUS. Tough Gaming is a type of brand, I guess it's branded gaming products under ASUS. Yeah, and Seasonic partnered with that specific brand to build this, and this has, okay, let me just give you guys a rundown. Most PSUs or power supply units have 10 years of warranty. This guy has 7 years. I mean, it's okay, 7 years is still quite a lot. And plus, it has 80+ gold rating. And this rating is pretty important because it shows how efficient your power supply unit is in providing power to your electrical components within the PC system. So nowadays, gold is actually average. There's bronze, silver, gold, titanium, and platinum. I think platinum is quite new recently. So gold is now become average. Last time gold was actually the highest. Then titanium came out, now platinum. So yeah, I wonder what's gonna be the next one after platinum. So we'll have to see about that. So yeah, so we got a power supply unit that is more credible than the old one. That's good. And next, the core of the system. Am I showing the back? Oh yeah, wait. The CPU. This is AMD Ryzen 3rd generation Ryzen 5, similar to the old one, also Ryzen 5. But I think this is supposed to be, yes, it is. Oh, okay. So it is AMD Ryzen 5 3rd generation 3500. It's a 6-core, 6-thread processor, which is definitely an improvement from the previous generation, which we had was 4-core, 4-thread. So we have 2 more cores and 2 more threads. But to be honest, if you guys went online and checked on AMD's official website, currently the 3500 is not mentioned at all. So I'm not too sure why they didn't mention the 3500. Maybe because they no longer sell it. This bundle that I got online with the motherboard was the last one that they were selling, and we got it. We got the last piece. I'm being serious here, guys. We got the last piece. So yeah, so 3500 is, I think it's a rare CPU nowadays. But who knows? Maybe I might be wrong. Yeah, I think I'm always wrong, to be honest. Like I said, I'm pretty much an amateur in this, guys, in the PC industry. So we all learn together. Yes, finally. This is the motherboard. I haven't unboxed it yet, but yeah. This is the motherboard that we got with the bundle, with the 3500. And this is what we call Gigabyte Aorus Pro Wi-Fi B450 2nd Gen Ryzen motherboard, which is an upgrade from the previous budget build, which was the 1st Gen Ryzen motherboard. So this 2nd Gen Ryzen motherboard is going to be, equipped with a 3rd Gen Ryzen CPU. I'm not too sure if they updated the BIOS so that it can work compatibly well with the 3rd Gen CPU. We have to say about it. Usually shops in Singapore, PC shops in Singapore, they would regularly update the BIOS in every single one of their motherboard. But I bought it online, so I'm not too sure if they did. So just have to check that. Maybe they did, maybe they did. Yeah, but in any case, why I settled with this? Well, firstly, it's because it's bundled together. It was on sale and was the last of its kind. And also, most importantly, this is called Pro Wi-Fi for a reason, because it does have Wi-Fi built in it. And Gigabyte has a lot of positive feedbacks online regarding their motherboard and regarding their BIOS updates. So yeah, I don't think I'll be disappointed in terms of how this is gonna go. But I just hope that the PC would work finally. But we're gonna test it out soon, and we are going to upload the build video and the testing video in our next episode next week after I upload this video. So you guys should subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell to get updates about this build specifically. And yeah, if you guys like the video, please do give it a like, give it a thumbs up, or share it with your friends. And of course, if you guys, if anyone of you out there are starting to enter the PC world and you want to build, you have a budget and you want to build a PC, let me know. I can really help you, no cost, as long as we can film the process, take a journey together. Why not? I'm here to help, guys. So just let me know if you guys need help with building a PC. DM me on Instagram at viewpointmediasg. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So see you guys next time. Bye.